We begin in Syria, where after years of war, a ceasefire is in place in Aleppo. Just a few hours ago, buses with civilians and rebel fighters had been due to start leaving the eastern part of the city. But now we hear the evacuation has been delayed. There are some reports that it may even be postponed until Thursday. The evacuation plan was a result of a ceasefire deal brokered by Russia and Turkey. Well, the Free Syrian Army fighter Yusuf Musa says the evacuation has definitely been delayed.
We have prepared everything according to the agreement between us and the Russian. But they told us that there are logistical obstacles because of a variation between the Russian-Iranian stance. After we went out the humanitarian cases that that were supposed to be the first group, they were prevented to cross, and we were informed that the implementation of the agreement is delayed.
TRT World's Ediz Tiyansan is in Gaziantep, near the Turkish-Syrian border, with the latest on the ground.
The evacuation of civilians nor the rebels in eastern Aleppo still hasn't started. We understand there's a bit of a delay as well as a misunderstanding. An initial batch of civilians was expected to leave eastern Aleppo late on Tuesday night, but we understand that those few buses were turned around by pro-regime forces and allied Shia militia. And at the latest, we expected this evacuation to start on the earliest hours of Wednesday morning, but it still hasn't. We're told that some 33 buses are waiting outside the city of Aleppo on that main road where the evacuation is expected to begin, but there's still no movement on the ground. And we understand that there are different pieces of information coming from the opposition and regime sources, especially with regards to the exact starting time of this operation, also regarding which route this evacuation will go through and whether the civilians and rebels will be on the same buses or not. And until these few issues are resolved, we expect that there will be a bit of a delay. But we've heard from the Orient TV, it's a pro-opposition Syrian TV channel, which said that the operation can be postponed until Thursday. This is still unconfirmed, and we're still waiting for further statements from the regime and opposition sources.
Let's go now to TRT World's Iolo Dafydd, who is here in Istanbul to talk about a humanitarian convoy leaving Turkey for Syria. Iolo, what more can you tell us about this convoy?
Well, this convoy, of course, had been prepared before the events of the last few days in Aleppo. The IHH, the Humanitarian Relief Foundation, has organised 10 trucks and quite a few cars to leave Istanbul this morning. They will be heading down towards Konya and then down to the Syrian border. Let's talk to the Vice Chairman of the IHH, Durmus. Aydin, thank you for joining us. First of all, you're preparing for a relief organisation and aid to reach down to the Syrian border before you knew what was happening in Aleppo. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true. In Aleppo now the situation is getting worse. Now we know that, in 6 square kilometers now 100,000 people are trapped. So they don't have any way out to go.
So explain to us what kind of aid you have on these 10 trucks about to leave Istanbul, and where are you taking that aid?
First of all, we have the basic needs of those refugees. We have the flour, baby food, some medical care, some medicines, and also some milk and some powders for the babies.
So now we know, of course, that there will be possibly up to 80,000 people needing tents and warm clothes as well as food in a new camp in Idlib province in Syria. Will this aid then be transferred and aimed for those people in need once they leave Aleppo?
The thing is, now the preparations are started already. And our teams also in Syrian border, we have our staff, they're doing their preparation. And the Turkish government also, they're doing preparation. But when they start to come from Aleppo to Bab al-Salam side, Bab al-Hawas side, the demand will be huge for those refugees. So the tents should be ready first, and then first of all, they need the blankets and baby food and some other things they will be needed.
Now, I know that you were preparing this convoy for people in need in Aleppo itself, so you've concentrated on food and clothes. Do you now have to try and broaden that appeal and try and get these tents and tarpaulins in place quickly?
First of all, I have to say this, the convoy, the land convoy, the aim is, to take attention to the international community. Now there is a massacre is going on in Aleppo. So first of all, we are trying to take consideration of those people, international community, that, the massacre is going there. They need the huge. But first of all, after that, when we take the consideration of the international community, we are asking all over the world that, the needs are huge. So everybody should do something in terms of donations.
Let me ask you that, because I know that you're conducting a slight tour of central Turkey to go down to the Syrian border. Where are you going, and how many other trucks and private cars and people are you hoping that may join your convoy before you reach the Syrian border?
As you know, now it's going to start, with the press conference from Gaziantep. And from Gaziantep, we are moving from here to Kocaeli, and then from Kocaeli to Sakarya. We're going to stay tonight in Sakarya. In Sakarya, there's going to be a huge demonstration. They will be protest against the international community, keeping their silence, and then assault in Aleppo. So from Sakarya, we are moving to Ankara. From Ankara to Konya. From Konya we are going to move into Kilis. And then we will be reaching to Reyhanlı. So we are expecting, end of the convoy, at least 470 trucks of aid and then thousands of cars to join our convoy.
Durmus, Aydin, thank you very much for joining us here at the beginning of this convoy. So, 10 trucks leaving Istanbul, but as we've just heard, they're hoping for over 470 by the time it reaches that Syrian border, and I'm sure that aid will be put to good use.
Okay, Iolo, many thanks for that. Iolo Dafydd there speaking to the IHH.